What is up, YouTube, and welcome to Lil Jitsu. For today's video, I wanted to just start it off with a little public service announcement. Submitting that upper belt does not mean you are better than them at Jiu Jitsu. When you start Jiu Jitsu, especially as a smaller individual, you're not going to have a chance to work on offense very much. You're not going to get much practice submitting anyone. Most of the time, you're going to be escaping, you're going to be defending, and you're going to be working from terrible positions like side control bottom, back defense, and the worst places you can be. This is just because everyone in the gym has generally been training longer than you. They're mostly better than you. So when you do have a chance to capitalize on an attack, when you get into an offensive position and you see a submission, right, and you do manage to get the tap, it feels like all your hard work is finally paying off. Everything's clicking and your jiu-jitsu calling has finally arrived. I'm not saying you shouldn't be proud of those moments, but they may not be as legitimate as you think they are. It is an accomplishment, but you can't fall into the habit of thinking that because you submitted this person, that they were working their best jiu-jitsu. This is especially true when you're rolling with higher belts or colored belts. Odds are they weren't playing their A game, they were letting you work, and maybe their intensity level wasn't matching your own. I like to tell all my students that submissions in the gym don't count. Submissions in training don't matter. Now, obviously you're still learning and those are helping you progress, but what I mean by that is you can't fall into the habit of thinking that because you submit someone in the gym in training that your jiu-jitsu is better than theirs. And you definitely cannot tap and tell. One, it's kind of cringy and it's a little bit taboo in the jiu-jitsu community, but two, you didn't win a medal. It's not worlds. You're not winning or achieving anything here. So it really doesn't matter. If you do manage to submit a more experienced jiu-jitsu practitioner or a higher belt, you should be pleased with yourself because it shows improvement. But don't go around spreading the word and telling your other training partners about how you beat the crap out of the brown belt in the gym, because it's probably not how it works. If you've been training jiu-jitsu for any extended amount of time, you've probably had an experience like this where you managed to submit an upper belt or someone with more experience in the gym than you, and after the tap, the round resets, and all of a sudden it feels like the intensity of the round has tripled. They're working harder, they're submitting you more, and you're just fighting to survive. In jiu-jitsu, everyone always says jiu-jitsu humbles you, leave your ego at the door, a strong ego doesn't survive in training. And none of that is true. No one likes to lose. 9 times out of 10, when an upper belt gets submitted by a lower belt, it's either because that upper belt was working on different parts of their game that weren't as polished yet, they're trying different techniques, different positions, or they were just letting you work, unless there's a significant size difference, which in that case you shouldn't be bragging anyways. But when that upper belt gets submitted, they're going to recognize that they need to amp it up a notch. You've been challenging them. You shouldn't take this as an insult or as a flex or something. You should be taking this as a sign of respect, because ultimately your jiu-jitsu was more impressive than they thought, or you made them work harder than they thought they needed to, and now they're going to give you a little bit more of what their jiu-jitsu is. Ultimately, this is great for the whole gym. It's going to raise your level, it's going to raise their level. Iron sharpens iron, and this is a positive thing for you and the gym as a whole. As a student, I have submitted upper belts who I thought were training 100% when they really weren't, and I've been submitted by newer students when I was trying different things. I've felt the pressure turn up on me, and I've turned the pressure up myself. More specifically, I had a new student join class, and in positional sparring, he managed to submit me. I later found out through the grapevine that at an open mat, the student was telling, people that he had submitted me, he'd passed my guard and finished me, and that he didn't feel like he was going to be able to learn from a coach who got submitted by their students. The next time we rolled, I made sure that they didn't score a single advantage, and I submitted them multiple times throughout the round. I didn't do this to flex or to be a dick or to heal my bruised ego. I did it to show in a tangible way the difference in skill and to help them understand that they're not as good as they thought they were. Again, I didn't do it to prove a point. I did it to illustrate that rounds in the gym aren't about winning or losing. They're about learning. Submissions in training and in the gym, they don't matter. You shouldn't tap and tell because it's disrespectful, and you probably don't have the depth of knowledge to really know when it's true or not. The last thing you want as a newer jiu-jitsu practitioner is to develop a reputation for bragging about your submissions, because when it does get back to the upper belts, they're going to know that if you submit them or if they get tapped by you, you're going to spread it to the whole world. So they're not going to give you opportunities to work, and you're probably going to have less opportunities to attack and really pick up any of the knowledge that those colored belts would normally be willing to share with you. Alright, if you made it to the end of the video, that's freaking dope, and I appreciate you. Leave a shaka in the comments below because algorithm stuff. And if you liked the video, please hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more in the future. And as always, stay consistent, go train.